and now our economy is the strongest in the state of Louisiana. Stay tuned, I will tell you more about our successes, achievements, the foundation that I've laid, and where we're going in the future.
Thank you, thank you. And next we would like to introduce Sid Edwards.
First off, thank y'all for having me. I appreciate I got invited and excited to be here. Here again, I'm Coach Sid Edwards. I am the head football coach and dean of students at the Estruma High School. Mr. James is familiar with him. We played his alma mater last week. We'll leave that there. But here again, glad to be here. I'm married. I have 4 children, 36-year-old, 35-year-old, and I have 2 beautiful autistic sons who are 33 and 23 years old, and 3 grandchildren. The big thing for me is, why as a football coach getting in the mayor-president's race, and what led me to do it? Well, over the years, I've been watching, I've been paying attention. I was living in Central for a while, and I got approached about running for office there. And one of the big motivations was when I went to Estruma High School, which is in the 70805 zip code, which is in the highest crime rate, or one of the highest crime rates in Baton Rouge. And I got to see the despair. I know there's the Plank Road corridor, and there's Winburn, and I know the airport's there, but when you peel back the curtain, the despair and the hurt. And I think one of the things that topped it off, I had a young man on my football team, 14 years old, on New Year's Day, walking down Evangeline Street. Beautiful young man, and he was shot down with 4 other guys, murdered. We had to put that 15-year-old in the ground 2 weeks later. And I'm running for the entire parish, absolutely. But crime is a big part of it. And I'll give you another stat. Being at Estruma High School, my young man passed. He was the 5th one to be murdered that walked through the halls of our school since January 1st. He was the first one. And that's why I'm running. I'm running for the people. And because I'm not a politician, I'm a coach. And I'm a dad and a grandfather. And that's why I'm here. God bless you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we would like to introduce Ted James.
Good evening. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you to my Divine Nine family, the Power Coalition, and all of the organizations that put this event on. As each one of the candidates have spoken, I've reminded of work that we have all collectively done together. When we talk about the early voting period that is now an 11-day period, that happened when I was chair of the Legislative Black Caucus. In every state across the country, they were repealing voting rights. And what did we do, Representative Jordan? We expanded them, leadership and vision. I heard the mayor talk about the flood. I remember that. I'm the only person in the state of Louisiana that went to the Capitol and passed legislation to make sure that you weren't impacted by tax cuts, tax increases from the federal government. I remember the ambushes in 2016. I remember Alton Sterling because I was there front and center with protesters and police. And I took those concerns of the protesters to the Capitol, and we passed policy. I remember passing more policy after the mayor got elected because she asked me to pass bills for her BRPD, leadership and vision. I've been blessed to travel this country after I was appointed by the President of the United States. This election is about having some honest conversations about where we are as a community over the last 8 years. Some tough and hard conversations about where we are versus where we should be. Baton Rouge is the place of opportunity, but way too often we are losing our young people because they don't see it, they don't feel it. As a parent, I worry that in 12 years, my daughter will be forced out of Baton Rouge because she's pursued opportunity other places. That's why I'm running, and I look forward to engaging with you on the issues, and not just truth, but honesty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, 2-minute freestyle intro, William Champagne Roundtree.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I'll address the elephant in the room, as I'm sure everybody has asked, and I've read the comments. William Champagne, yes. I'm a transgendered woman living in the city of Baton Rouge. Living in this city, I have seen so much controversy and so much diversity that is honored by our citizens. I can walk down the street and have full respect, but yet in our government, I cannot. None of our Metro Council, none of our mayors have ever passed anything for the LGBTIA community to help us in the workplace, and forcing girls like me to have to work in jobs such as prostitution because they cannot get a job because they look like Tiffany but look like named Tyrone. It's not fair to those citizens because they do work hard and they do pay their taxes the same as everyone. And they deserve the same respect as everyone else. Over the last 8 years, I have watched diligently as our city has crumbled. Our crime has gone through the roof. I do property management for a living. I have shopping centers where I'm 9 minutes from a police station, but I watch as it takes 2 hours for me to get an officer there when people are being attacked physically on my property. When I ask why, I'm told we're shorthanded. Ask the mayor's office, they're not shorthanded. Something I would like to address, as I've watched in a forum before, as I was told, I'm supposed to be able to call my mayor's office anytime I want to. I can get 15 minutes with my mayor to speak with you to address any issue of this city. I'd be willing to lay it before anybody who wants to see it. I've got 174 phone calls on my phone bill. Not one time have I ever been able to meet with the mayor to discuss why our taxes are now doubled and crime is out of control.
Thank you so much to our candidates for mayor president for their 2-minute introductions. At this time, each candidate will receive 4 random questions. You will have 90 seconds, right? 90 seconds?
90 seconds.
90 seconds of applied pressure. Oh, they are bringing that heat up in here. I said, oh, Lord. Man, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag, get the bag. We got some envelopes up in here with some questions. Now, this is the first time we've seen these questions, too. We're going in alphabetical order. Now, you started us off. You got all 4, back to back to back to back, right? You're good. All right. No, matter of fact, you go first. Come on. There you go. And this one is for Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome. Applied pressure, applied pressure, applied pressure.
Got you. The first question is, with the establishment of the city of St. George, what is your plan to fix the budget and lost revenue for the city of Baton Rouge?
Well. So I have been dealing with this issue almost my entire time since I've been the mayor president. My goal was to keep our city together, our city and parish together, because I believe that we're stronger united. So now we're faced with a new city of about 86,000 individuals. From the very beginning, I said, show me a plan. Show me a plan how you're going to stand up a city of this size. Right now, we're in the midst of negotiations since they won their city. And I've asked the same question over. Show me the plan on how you're going to stand up the city. So now I have made suggestions, recommendations to them on what we're willing to do, because my ultimate goal is to protect all of our citizens. I do not want a negative impact taking place on our city or our parish because of the advent of a new city. And I'm going to continue to stand up, no matter what name I'm called by folks who are advocates for St. George. I'm standing up for this community, and I'm going to make sure that we do not have minimized services because of the advent of this new city. We're in negotiations right now. Before I came here, I was given some comments that I had to respond to. So it takes experience, it takes knowledge, and I have that experience and knowledge. I've been on the forefront of this issue from the very beginning, and I'm not going to stop looking out for everyone in the city and parish. It's all about equity.
Thank you. I stand corrected. It's 2 minutes, not 3. My bad. Thank you. Next question is for Sid Edwards. 2 minutes on the clock.
Is this question going to have some pressure to it?
I think so. All right. Regarding the city of St. George, there are still several annexation cases pending for individuals who do not want to be a part of the new city. What is your opinion on persons having a right of self-determination?
Well, I think most people should have a right of self-determination, and I know we're getting in tall weeds with that, like the mayor just talked about. So basically what you're asking is for people that want to be annexed, hey, we don't want to be a part of that, right? Well, I think it's extremely difficult. I was in Central when Central incorporated. I was working there then. And there was a lot of debates and a lot of work done prior to it going through. So if people that live in Baton Rouge, there was a talk at one time about Monticello being a part of Central, all the way Park Forest, where you're from, Mayor, your neighborhood, being a part of it, up to the northern part, Northeast, where Northeast High School is, Pride, Baywood, and all that. To speak completely intelligently how you would do that. For example, I guess I'd have a question like if there's a strip mall, a shopping center somewhere in the middle of the city, I don't know how you would annex that, you know, and I wish I could speak more intelligently on it, but I know there's borders and lines drawn, you know. As mayor, would I listen to that and talk about that and negotiate that? Because there are some people that are indeed in St. George that's not far, you know, them becoming their own city. But they voted and they won and the majority are. So you try to hear, I think some of that might needed to have been done prior, you know, to now. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, the next question is to Ted James. What is your plan to rejuvenate North Baton Rouge and help empower the North Baton Rouge Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, can I take a moment to answer the first question, because I don't think we really heard about the plan for the finances. So the first thing that you all need to know is that the city of St. George immediately goes.
No, you have to answer the question addressed to you. Everyone will get a separate question. Those are the rules.
So in terms of North Baton Rouge, what I will do is work with the chamber, because I have been on record as finding the largest appropriation for the Baton Rouge North Economic Development District. Number one is about the capital. They need capital. We have multiple economic development districts that don't have the capital. They need a mayor that's going to make sure that they have capital. We need a blight plan. We need a blight map, because way too often in North Baton Rouge, you all live in North Baton Rouge, you see it. North Baton Rouge is as blighted as it was 4 and 8 years ago. We need a blight map by council district. We need to be a better steward of the tax dollars that we receive from the federal government. On April 8th of 2022, there's an article in the Advocate that talked about how we misspent or didn't spend correctly $13 million that went back to the federal government that should have been used to revitalize housing in North Baton Rouge. I will transition from not just calling and not just recruiting on developers to build projects and build multi-purpose complex. We are going to focus on single-family living. We are going to do that by using the same dollars that we've sent back to DC. We're not going to merely do rental assistance. That's great. Other communities are using those same DC dollars that we sent back to do down payment assistance. That's from taking folks to home ownership, and that's a plan for North Baton Rouge.
Thank you. Thank you. Look, in full transparency, this is the first time we've seen these questions. The questions were submitted randomly by the community and community stakeholders and the organizations. So you may hear a lot of the same questions different ways, but everyone will get their own 4 questions, and you have to answer those questions, and we're good to go. Great job so far. So this one is for you, William Champagne Roundtree. 2 minutes on the clock. Do you support or not support the city of St. George?
It's kind of hard to say whether I support it or not. It's here. The time for us to stop it was when all our crime was going out of control, when our kids didn't have adequate schooling, and these people were saying, we're tired of this, we've had enough, that's why we want our own city. Do I support it? No, we took the majority of our dollars and sent them right over there. You took everything that has money. And don't think that for a minute we didn't notice that St. George cut out majority of everything that's considered a hood neighborhood. They were quick to circle where they wanted it and where they didn't want it. It's about a money and an empowerment thing for them is what this is. But I say that's why we take our money, we come back over here to North Baton Rouge and we revamp it and do what needs to be done for years. We take that old OK Long site, we build a Target. We put a Chick-fil-A in there. We build a strip mall there that they can't compete with. Take their Segan Lane one, okay, take it. We've got one just like it on our side, but we're going to pull the tax dollars out of New Road. We're going to pull the tax dollars out of Baker's, Zachary, because they don't have a Target. They don't have this store. We pull our tax dollars in and we work together as a community to revamp North Baton Rouge and show them that we don't care about their city of St. George. You can have it, but we're still going to grow and we're still going to be vibrant over here.
Thank you. With 10 seconds still left on the clock. Now we need another 2 minutes. Everybody, you got your water? Everybody's good? Everybody's good? Got to make sure we're good. Don't leave my home training at home. We good? All right. 2 minutes on the clock. This one is for Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome. The East Baton Rouge Parish Prison has had several challenges when it comes to medical care exacerbation by the COVID-19 crisis, increased jail population, and longer sentences, time served. Based on the current state of our local parish and youth detention, what are some of your short and long-term goals that you would like to make if, in your case, re-elected?
Thank you. Today, in fact, we sent out a press release. We're asking for all of our citizens, stakeholders, to give us feedback on what you would like to see in a parish jail or juvenile detention center. But in addition, what my plan is to build a new facility. We should have people in humane situations, not inhumane situations, no matter what they have done. And so we have now a 90-day proposal out where we're exploring different ways that we can stand up a new facility. In fact, Councilman Darrell Hurst has a commission that is looking at all different avenues of how we can build a new facility. I think a new facility should include rehabilitative services. I think a new facility should include mental health services. I do believe that we need to go towards more modern day, 21st century facilities that take a holistic approach to those that are put in jail. But the first step, which we are responsible for as a city parish government, is a new facility.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wait a minute, with 34 seconds left on the clock.
Finishing pretty quick.
Let's see here. You have your next question?
Is to Sid Edwards. The Baton Rouge Airport is steadily expanding in North Baton Rouge. How do you believe the expansion would expand the business in North Baton Rouge? If so, please explain.
Well, the expansion of the airport in North Baton Rouge, I don't know how much of an effect that's going to have on North Baton Rouge, to be honest with you, until the other stuff is fixed, okay? Here again, that's where I'm at. It's my hometown where I was born. You could go down Plank Road, you peel back the curtain of Plank Road and see what's there. You could build an airport to house 8 billion customers. But as far as impacting the North Baton Rouge, there's just so much more to do than that. So sure, it'll have some impact if they increase the airport and do stuff. But let's remember, in North Baton Rouge, people got this bad view of it. Most of the folks there are good people. 98% of the people there don't want to live like they live in. They don't. They're victims of the crime. And that's something people don't know, what's really happening in that area of town. North Baton Rouge is also the home of the Southern University. It is the home of the Baton Rouge Zoo. The airport is on that side. But for the normal, the regular Joe guy out there, that's about all they got. So maybe I'm indirectly answering the question. Do I think there could be the airport expanded? It could be good. There ain't nobody in the neighborhood give a doggone about planes coming in and out. They trying to make it, and they trying to get jobs, and they trying to make a living. So there's a whole lot more to do than that.
So it's the church. It's the church. About to take us to the 50-yard line. It's the church. Whew, okay. Next one is for you, Edward Ted James. 2 minutes on the clock. Many comments in the last few years have been made about the East Baton Rouge Parish Juvenile Detention Center, calling it an unsafe environment and saying it's time to tear this place down. What are your thoughts about the EBR Parish Jail Task Force, and what do you believe are the most vital issues to address within your administration?
Yeah, thank you. Coach had a common moment there. I was about to let one out. We need a new facility, and we needed one for a very long time. We needed one before it became a campaign issue. It's a governing issue. It has to be a model where, number one, we're giving resources to make sure that we are limiting the young people that go there. We have to work with our BRPD to make sure that they are not sending our 17-year-olds to adult facilities like the current administration has done, because it's illegal, right? It's wrong, and you're not supposed to send juveniles in facilities with adults. The juvenile model has to be one that is education focused. It must have the resources, but it also must be in conjunction with proper funding for both our DA's office, and folks don't like to talk about this part, but our public defender's office as well. We have to make sure that we also have a juvenile justice model where we are not over-policing and over-incarcerating young people that has been tradition in East Baton Rouge Parish. The most important thing that we have to do to prevent the young people from going there is to fix early childhood education in this community. And that's my commitment. On day one, not month 8, not year 8, we have to make sure that we are educating our young people, because the best way to keep our young people out of that juvenile facility is to give them a brighter education. We have to partner more with Mr. Corey Wilson and Brett to make sure that we have after-school programming to also encourage our young people on a better path so they don't end up in a new facility that we desperately need.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, finishing pretty quickly. Next question is to William Roundtree. In the past decades, we have seen the southern part of the city experience major growth, and parts of mid-city experience a rejuvenation, while the northern part of the city has gone largely ignored. If elected, what is your plan to grow North Baton Rouge and enhance the services in that area, especially now that we have lost a part of our city to St. George?
Well, I guess this will give me more of a chance to elaborate onto the things that I've already been researching. I've gone as far as to reach out to some of the landlords that are in the North Baton Rouge areas, learning what they're doing with their strip malls to find out why they're staying, dormant, why nobody's moving in, trying to find out what their crime looks like in their area, trying to figure out how we can make it to where these stores can survive in the neighborhoods. Because the biggest thing we see is, and I'll use my shopping center there at Sherwood Forest. I'm the actual manager of the Harbor Freight one there at Sherwood Forest. When you've got criminals running in and they're grabbing handfuls of your stuff and they're running out, or they're filling up garbage bags and running out the doors, it's hard to bring these new businesses back to any community because they're scared to open when they can just put it online and they can make more money online because they don't have to pay for a building or pay for, their overages. With that said, of course, we need to fix our crime. We should have 15 to 20 small substations around neighborhoods to actually fix it to where cops can respond in faster times instead of having one centralized station. That should have been a mental facility right there. But I didn't get to make those decisions. But I'm hoping going forth I'll be able to help make these decisions for the people of Baton Rouge to where we can revitalize North Baton Rouge, to where if we have to, we give tax cuts to bring these people in. Do what it takes and get these businesses in. If we have to promise them police, then I don't care if we have to hire 1,000 of them. We're going to do what we have to do, and we're going to bring it back to where everything grows in the city, not just one area. I'm tired of watching us support one mall while the other one goes out of business. This needs to stop. If we've got the income in this city, there's no reason why we should have to travel all the way from North Baton Rouge just to go to the mall. Let's bring one back on this side. We can do everything right here. Together, we will build this community.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Champagne. You have the next question?
Yes, I do. So next question is to Mayor Broome. For over 11 years, Commission's task force and incentives have been enacted to address the food deserts within Baton Rouge, and particularly in North Baton Rouge. With little to no results, what practical plans do you have to address our food deserts?
We have already started addressing the food deserts in North Baton Rouge. We just had a conversation recently about that at the Scotlandville Library. One of the things that I have done since being mayor president is to provide resources to have a consultant come in and tell us how we can go about a plan of action to develop a grocery store. That was done in the Scotlandville area. We realized that if we're going to do a grocery store, that we have to have those individuals who believe that a food desert exists and want to come up with a solution. So just recently, this week, we put out what you call an RFP. So we're asking for proposals, and we've put up millions of dollars to ignite developers who want to develop a grocery store. That's one thing that we've done. In addition, we are filing an application with the state, particularly looking at areas like Scotlandville, asking for dollars to help have a grocery store in that area. So these are things that I have already taken action on, and I believe that as we move forward, within the next 2 years or less, we will see the development of a grocery store and more grocery stores. We already have some that are evolving in the North Baton Rouge community, but I think we will see some staples that will take place in North Baton Rouge.
Thank you. At this time, the next question is for Coach Sid Edwards. 2 minutes on the clock. You ready, Coach? Put them in. Our veterans are part of the homeless population. What are your views on this issue? Do you support full funding of human need programs such as veterans benefits?
100%. I support it. And I don't know how sad that is, us having veterans that are homeless on the street. Now, of course, in Baton Rouge, homelessness is a huge problem. It's part of my overall platform. You know, we see the people on the side of the road, and I know they're going by a tall boy. You know, I give them $2 anyway. But the whole thing about it is, we have places in Baton Rouge for these people to be taken care of. And I'm just talking to general homelessness. We have places for them to eat and go get something to drink and for them to clean up. But a lot of the people who are on the ground in Baton Rouge that are homeless, some of them deal in some criminal behavior. They're doing drugs. They're making a mess. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. But Baton Rouge has, to me, supported them and done what they could. But they choose to be out there. But when you're talking about a veteran, that's tough. To think that someone who fought for our country and represents our country is homeless on the street. I am 100% for help and support for these men and women that are out there. But I go back to it again, the general homeless population and what's going on, they're also mentally ill. I know someone talked a little bit about, mental health services and what's needed in a jail and that being a part of incarceration. There is a great need for psychiatric hospital here in East Baton Rouge Parish as well. I have 2 autistic sons, and I can't imagine. One of them don't know how to spell cat, but he could paint anybody in the room. He's an artist. But I can't imagine them being on the street of Baton Rouge with the mental issues they have and no help, and our people don't have help.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
The next question is to Ted James. Do you support federal funding for long-term shelters, job training, and trauma-informed victim services? Why or why not?
Yes. One of the first things that I would do when elected is bring on a federal grants coordinator, because way too often the stories are not about East Baton Rouge Parish not getting the resources. It's about us not properly dispersing them, us not deploying them to the right resources, us not capturing what we need to capture, and the federal government always says, give us our money back. What we have to do, especially in terms of homelessness, is move past shelters to permanent supportive housing. These programs are happening all across the country. I invite you to follow 3 mayors. Mayor Dickens in Atlanta, Mayor Wolfen in Birmingham, Mayor Frank Scott in Little Rock. They can't hold a candle to what we have in Baton Rouge, but they figured out that they have to be a better steward of the tax dollars that you already pay. We're paying for them to address homelessness in those communities because we're not getting it right. Our plan is to make sure that we're investing in permanent supportive housing. There are grants out there that we have not applied for. We can convert all of the factories that you see around Choctaw. Mayor Dickens took federal dollars and converted a warehouse to permanent supportive housing. Mayor Wolfen in Birmingham created a tiny town village. Y'all know your tiny towns, y'all seen those homes on TV? He created a whole tiny town village. What he also did, they trained the homeless people to actually work on the project. They hired local contractors to build the tiny homes. That's what we have to do in East Baton Rouge Parish. It's not hard. We just got to elect leadership and vision in the mayor's office, and we're going to get it done. I promise you.
Thank you. William Champagne Roundtree, how are we looking to invest in traffic in the city of Baton Rouge? The traffic, I-10, I-12.
LSU campus.
Well, I'm sure some of you have already seen that I was on the news not too long ago complaining about a pothole here in Baton Rouge. Yeah, our city don't pay for those as much as they say they do. If you have a pothole in Baton Rouge, you gotta give them adequate time to fix it, which no one can tell you what the statute is on that. And, well, you have to have had the pothole previously reported before you ever hit it before they'll pay to fix your tire. Any which way they can to get out of fixing it. The same as they get out of any other way they can to fix the holes. I've asked multiple times why it is that our streets look the way they do. Why do street lights are out this day and age? When you go down the streets at night, if you call Energy tomorrow and say, hey, I've got a street light out at the corner of Sherwood and Old Hammond, you know what they tell you? Go outside and tie a ribbon around it. This day and age, we don't have a system that says number pole 101 is at this street. Why? They've been giving hurricane recovery charges since Katrina, so I need to know what's going on with Energy. Why hasn't our officials said anything? Why are the streets not being cleared from the power lines? These trees fall, they bust up our streets. Better yet, why aren't the main streets taken care of? I called my Metro Council in Moroso on many occasions telling her grass is growing through the street. Grass going through concrete causes concrete to bust up. Concrete busts up, guess what? Now we're out thousands of dollars paying to repave the streets because somebody didn't come out and take care of the grass. City officials haven't been taking care of this city for so many years now that it's unreal because we can call them and say that we have these problems but no one takes care of it. You're told, oh, let me give you this assistant. I've been passed off some more assistants in the mayor's office in the last 2 years and I want to shake a stick at. I have looked into this because I was tired of the crime going up in my area. Streets are going bad. We've got streets, Sherwood Forest floods every time it rains. Red Oak and Sherwood Forest floods every time because no one's even fixed the drainage on those streets. Tickets have been on the books since 2015 at the DPW, but nobody's looking into it. I can tell you I've put a ticket in myself since 2017. It's still sitting on the books for drainage on Boulevard de Providence. But no one has done anything. I've called city officials, can't get them out there.
They had to drop the buzzer. Thank you. William Champagne Roundtree asking me questions, getting my pressure up. I'm like, I asked you. Hold on, Reb, hold on now. I'm coming, Reb, I'm coming, hold on. We got another round of questions, but before we go to the last round of questions, I'm going to give them a slight breather. So far, so good. Put your hands together. And give yourself some love for being here because you could have been anywhere else tonight, but we understand how important it is that we hear it from those who are vying for our vote because their hearts are in the right place. We understand that they love this city and that we have high expectations, and we have high expectations of you as well. So don't show up for this and don't show up to the polls. Yeah?
Yes.
I said what I said.
Yes. Before we proceed to our last round of questions, our partner, National Pan-Atlantic Council of Greater Baton Rouge, would like to share with you, Ms. Courtney Jarrell. National Pan-Atlantic Council of Greater Baton Rouge are alumni members of the Divine Nine.
Thank you. First, I would like to recognize our Social Action Chair, LaToya London Moore, and tonight's Forum Chair, Melissa Drake. That's right. This is the first time we have ever hosted a forum. So thank you. So if you are a member of the Divine Nine, please stand. Yes, give yourselves a hand. Okay. And we have to let you all know who are not members of the Divine Nine that we are more than just a Greek show, a step show, a stroll show, right? Amen. We come together for matters of mutual concern, such as today, promoting our civic youth, right? Promoting community service and scholarships, right? We believe in the power of prayer, and so we are so glad that you all are here, and we are encouraging you to get out and go vote. Thank you.
That's right. Thank you so much to you and your team for this wonderful job tonight, and to all of our candidates that are here. Thank you so much to every helping hand that has played a role in this. Are you ready for the final round of questions, sir? Well, we added it. I would never do anything that's disrespectful.
And I know that it's not out of any malintent, but I just want to...
Of course not. That's why I acknowledge. I did. I got you. I got you. I got you. I was only reading it as is, and then I added the champagne as well. I got you. I got you. Y'all ready? Because you got 2 minutes left on this good clock. That's 120 seconds. I have not read this yet, but this is for you. Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome. Like many police departments nationwide, Baton Rouge is experiencing a shortage in staff. What is your plan to address this shortage, including your plans for retention?
So let's start off with what I have done. I gave our police officers a 13% increase in pay so that they could be competitive. I also gave them, new officers coming on, a $10,000 incentive. Then for those that were moving lateral, I gave them a $15,000 incentive. So we're doing everything we possibly can to retain and attract our officers. But we're going to speak truth here tonight. And I got a lot to say about truth that has not been said tonight. But let's talk about truth on this issue right now. We all know that being a police officer in this day and age is not for the faint of heart. And there are not many men and women who are running to the police station to sign up. And we all know why. Let's face it. But we're doing everything we can to retain our officers and to attract officers with money and incentives. Now, I have an idea for another incentive that we have been talking about. And that is the incentive to ask those officers who live, because remember, I'm just responsible for BRPD, not the sheriff, not the sheriff's department. But it would be a great incentive for those BRPD officers to live in the city of Baton Rouge. I think that's another incentive that we can offer, and perhaps offer a housing allowance with that. So these are just some of the things that I have done and things that we can do moving forward for retention of our police officers.
Thank you. Coach, are you ready for the next question? Ready for the next question? All right, Coach, your question is, what are your plans and how you will work with the Baton Rouge Police Department in attempting to reduce crime in the Baton Rouge area specifically? What is your position on the effort to expunge the criminal records of trafficking survivors?
Well, I just heard what the mayor was talking about, and I am in agreement with all those things as far as the pay and everything else. And I work with a resource officer at Estruma High School, and get to talk a lot about some of the issues and what's going on with the department. We're starting a program at Estruma High School. It's kind of like it's going to be like a cadet program over there, and we had kids sign up, like future police officers of America or something like that, to sign up for this club. And we didn't know if we'd get any takers. Matter of fact, the Baton Rouge Police Department visited, Chief Morse visited our campus this week for a big event, which was beautiful. We had 36 kids sign up for that deal. Now, if we only get 2 officers out of the 36 who signed up, it's a start. But there are a bajillion things, I think, to help. Certainly pay, certainly signing bonuses, better training. But the thing is, a lot of it is the respect has to be put back on the name of the department. Let's face it, it has not been a great time for those guys, okay? And some of it earned, some of it not. But at the end of the day, putting respect back on their name, trying to, and the truth is, I think I was told we're 70 officers short. Well, we need to hire 100, okay? You know, this area is extremely, extremely fast. So to me, it's any incentive to get them out there, but you also have a situation with them with better training, that they're trained better. I'm talking to some officers that are in the field. They don't feel they're properly trained, and they're not ready to get out there. And again, if you hire 70 or 100 more police officers, you could do real community policing. Right now, what they're doing is they're just responding to calls. There's no community policing. They're responding to drama. So thank you.
Thank you. Next question, Edward Ted James. What are your budget priorities when it comes to the human need of homelessness?
Yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit. The first thing we have to do is have a full audit of every program that we have right now. We know we're going to get a loss in St. George revenue, so we have to look at number one. I know that this budget, multiple departments, they fund vacant positions that we've been funded for years, right? We need to reprioritize those dollars to make sure that we have the level of investment so that we can go to some of those programs that I talked about in terms of permanent supportive housing. That will require me working with Representative Jordan and our other legislators to make sure that we, for the first time in a very long time, have an East Baton Rouge Parish plan and go to the state capitol and pull resources down like our other parishes have done traditionally. We pay for a lot of homelessness programs in New Orleans because their legislators and their mayor has an aggressive plan, and they take all of our dollars to address their issues. That changes next year. The second thing that we're going to do again, and I have to say this multiple times, we are going to be a good steward of the tax dollars that we already receive to make sure that we don't lose them. That has been tradition in East Baton Rouge Parish. I know this may be hard for some of you all to hear. It's hard for me to say it, but it's even harder that I'm telling you the truth about the tax dollars that you send to other communities. We have to be a good steward of all of the tax dollars to make sure that we're addressing homelessness. And Coach, I disagree. I don't think people choose to be homeless, right? I don't think people make that choice. We have to make sure that we are tending to each and every person, the 400 plus, that's our pit count. That's how many homeless folks we have in this community, over 400. Permanent supportive housing. Audit every dollar that's going out of city parish. Reprioritize our intentions at the Capitol. Representative Jordan, you're looking down, but I'm going to be calling on you a lot because I'm going to be working with you a lot to make sure that we're pulling resources out of the state capitol. It's in our city. And I'm tired of losing our dollars to New Orleans, Representative Jordan. So be ready.
Thank you. The next question is to William Champagne Roundtree. Mental illness is very serious in today's society. What is your position, and do you support the full funding of human needs programs such as healthcare benefits that provide coverage for individuals needing assistance in this area?
You're actually touching on something that's actually kind of close to my heart. I dealt with family that has actually had mental illness. My grandmother, when she would become mentally ill, was only when she would have an infection in her body. Would cause her to lose her mind so bad they would have to tie her to the bed to keep her from pulling catheters out, to keep from harming herself or anything else. Throughout those years that we had to deal with this, never once was there a mental facility here in Baton Rouge, because to Baton Rouge, our mental people belong at the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, where they're then put on lockdown. Not in a proper mental facility, no. You're basically stripped of all your clothes, put in there naked. You then get to lay on a concrete floor with a metal toilet, metal sink. A mental person is supposed to be in a padded facility to ensure not able to hurt themselves. But of course, we wouldn't do that because we can't provide a mental hospital. We thought that the police station should be in the center of the city. Police can't respond fast because people don't move out of their way in traffic. You can turn their lights and sirens on all day long. Their music's blasting, they don't hear them. We've got to divide the police department and revamp them as well. We've got to make them into areas where they can go out and be able to help the community, to where they actually can spot the signs of mental illness instead of actually just thinking that everybody is a criminal. These people should be evaluated by a doctor, tested for all infections, not just one. Do blood work, pull everything. If you find an infection in that body, then start looking at their mental facilities. Because then more than likely, it's just an infection that could probably heal the person if you got them the right medical treatment. But again, we let the rich in Baton Rouge tell us what we can and can't have. That's why we don't have the mental hospital. The same as they didn't want that in their neighborhood. Well, it's time you decide, this is our city. We'll do it together or you can leave.
Thank you, Champagne. Today's forum is hosted by the Power Coalition for Equity and Justice, National Panhellenic Council of Greater Baton Rouge, National Panhellenic Council of Louisiana State University, Southern University's Joint Greek Council, and United Excel Social Justice Institute. We have closing remarks, but we're going to give you a couple of minutes before we get to that portion. We have one thing, and then each of you will have 2 minutes for your freestyle closing remarks.
Next, we'd like to say about our last partner for tonight. Our last partner for tonight is the Southern University Joint Greek Council, Mr. Winton Anderson. Southern University's Joint Greek Council includes all Greek organizations enrolled at Southern University. Now, can we please hear it from Mr. Winton Anderson?
Come on down. Well, I thought I was going to give you a few minutes to get it together, but here we are. Yep, okay, all right. So you have 2 minutes each for a freestyle closing. We will have a meet and greet with the candidates immediately afterwards, so please feel free to stick around. We're going to start with Quentin Anthony Anderson.
Okay, well, I was really casual the rest of the time, but everybody else stood up, so I'm going to stand up too. I had a woman in Opelousas tell me that what I'm asking particularly black folks to do in this race is I am asking a bunch of people who have only known a Monday to vote for a Tuesday. And I didn't understand it, so she broke it down for me. What she said was, baby, imagine people who have only lived one day of the week and they've only lived Monday. And Monday might be the worst day of the week. Monday might be the day that mama died. Monday might be when they lost a kid. Monday might be when they lost their job. But the one thing about Monday that they know is they can survive Monday. They're going to make it through Monday. And so here you come around talking about Tuesday. And what she said was, while for you, you understand that Tuesday represents endless possibilities. Tuesday is better than Monday. What you have to understand, the people that you're talking to, Tuesday represents uncertainty. And so what she told me I had to do from the moment that I announced to November 5th is I have to convince a whole bunch of people that we can't afford Monday anymore. We can't afford inadequate leadership. We can't afford weak advocacy. Our schools can't afford it. Our kids can't afford it. Our communities can't afford it. Our families can't afford Monday anymore. Monday is that leadership that believes that maybe our seat at the table isn't worth the same seat at the table as the folks across town. But what I'm asking you to do today is I'm asking you to look forward to Tuesday. I'm asking you to understand that Tuesday means that minimum wage gets raised. I'm asking you to understand that Tuesday means maybe we stop flooding. Tuesday means maybe we stop shooting each other. So on Tuesday, November 5th, I am asking for you to take a chance. I'm asking for you to understand that our community can't afford Monday anymore. I'm asking for your vote. My name is Quentin Anthony Anderson. I'm running for Congress, and I'm asking for your support this fall. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So next we'll have Ms. Mayor Brown speak and have her in closing.
I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It's great to see so many individuals civically engaged. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to get out the truth. And in political campaigns, the truth is sometimes a rare commodity. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a card with the truth on it. I'm going to give you a card with the truth on it. I'm going to give you a card with the truth on it. How about you? Would you like a card with the truth on it? What about you, young sister? Here's a card with the truth on it. Here's a card with the truth on it. And I could go on and on and on. The truth is, all of our information is on a website for you to see. Every tax dollar that is spent by the city parish, we have open checkbook, facts. So you can go there and see any numbers, anything that we're doing, it is on the city parish website. We're not hiding anything, we're not deceiving anyone, but we are working for each and every one of you. I love being your mayor president, and I'm going to tell you this. This election is re-election for Sharon Weston Broome. It's not about a legacy or Sharon Weston Broome. It's about a legacy for our city and parish, for each and every one of you. And you want someone moving forward who has the tenacity, the wisdom, the understanding, and the vision to carry this city forward. I want to finish the job that I started for each and every one of you. God bless and much love.
Thank you, Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome. I mean, you gonna put the card back in your purse? I don't get a card.
You get a card.
The audacity. Give me my card. I want you to get it. Thank you. Now for the next 2-minute freestyle closing. Coach Sid, who was that? Who said that? Who said that? You get a card, you get a card. I can't. Coach Sid Edwards, 2 minutes freestyle closing. Time on the clock.
Look, I saw the mayor go down there. I'm going down there too, Mayor. Look,
Coach, let's go, Coach, let's go.
This is like the Price is Right.
Come on
down. No, what I want to talk to y'all about is this. I'm going to ask you, I'm new to this. I'm an old ball coach. Man, when can we not think about Republican, think about Democrat, and not think about black, and think about white? Because I'm telling you, I am for the people. I'm more comfortable sitting right here with y'all than actually being up there. But I can make a difference in this city. Anybody that knows me, black or white, and not everybody knows me, but I promise you this, everybody that knows me, black or white, Republican or Democrat, are going to push that button for Sid Edwards. I'm going to tell you that now. I'd love to get to know you, because when I tell you, it's going to happen. So I'm asking, how many Democrats in here? How many Republicans? How many independents? I need y'all vote. Hey, let me tell you something. In the world I live in coaching, you better not be worried if you're Republican or Democrat. You better not be worried if you're black or white. None of that matters when you're in that battle. And at a higher level, it's in the military. But I promise you this, I am a man of the people. I am a common man. Running this city is a lot of common sense. And I'm looking forward to when I do become the mayor president of East Baton Rouge Parish, I'm coming back here to thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
2 minutes on the clock.
2-minute freestyle, Mr. Ted James.
Good evening, everyone. Y'all, this is a very serious election. And Latangela has joked a lot, and we've laughed. And most of you that know me, you know I joke a lot. But this is a very serious election. You all live here. The truth of the matter is, those of you who are going back to North Baton Rouge, nobody can tell you we've fixed infrastructure, because you know better. Those of you who are going back to North Baton Rouge, nobody can tell you we fixed blight, because you know better. It's hard, because just like I'm asking you all to do something different than you've done the last 2 times as well. I had the same conversation with myself. And Coach is right. This is not about Democrat or Republican. I stand before you as the only person endorsed by the Democratic Party, the people that you elected. Months ago, I was criticized because I had Republican support. I am the only person on this stage with the ability to support the experience to bring this community together. I'm not running away from the fact that I'm a Democrat. I've always been one, strong. Many of you knew, because you watched me in the legislature. I could go down and swing Representative Jordan, and then I could go right back up there and get unanimous support for bills, relationships, leadership, and vision. You all know we can do better than what we are doing. You have a very important choice. There's a Baton Rouge that we deserve. Now, you can have it right now, or you can have it 4 years from now. The choice is yours.
Thank you, Edward Ted James. Closing us out, 2 minutes on the clock, Champagne Roundtree, 2-minute freestyle closing.
You know, as part of the LGBTQIA community, I'm sure a lot of y'all have friends that are part of that community, and y'all know as well as I do, one of your best friends in the world will be part of that community because they're never going to lie to you. They're going to tell you, nah, girl, take that off. You look too fat in that. Don't wear that. They're not going to let you leave in the house look crazy. Part of my platform I'm going by is honesty. I believe that the people of the community should know everything going on in every single office at every single time. As your leader of the office, so should I. Never should there be a moment where all of a sudden I'm watching the Channel 9 news at night and I have to worry about a brave cave. These people did not deserve the treatment in which they got, but nobody knows about it. But our chief of police works under our current mayor. Do I believe nobody in the office knew? Not a chance. Do I believe the investigation was thorough? Not a chance. Do I think it is over with? Not a chance. But I say it to say that over the last 8 years, we've watched as our money has had to go from fixing our streets to paying criminals for activity which they should have went to jail for, but because it was improperly handled by our city officials, we, the taxpayer, has to deal out with the money for it. You wanna know why your streets aren't fixed? You wanna know why your crime's not going anywhere? You wanna know why everything, we don't have the money. Look at the taxes. For my commercial properties, taxes have doubled in the last 2 years. Doubled. That means $1,000 a door per an apartment complex in Baton Rouge. You got 200 apartments, that's $200,000 the city gets of your money, but we can't get a truck to come over there and help. We can't get the streets to not flood. We've called mayor's offices, we've called Metro Council people. No action, but there's a different assistant there every week. So I say that with, choose the right thing on November the 5th. Even if it's not me, make it the right choice.
Thank you, Champagne.
Thank you.
Thank you to all of our candidates that have participated with us tonight. Now, they've made a few adjustments on the slide, so just work with me, okay? Just work with me. We have an addition. We're going to add 2 minutes to the clock. Just 2 minutes on the clock. Take 3 of them things off. Give me 2. Give me 2. We got 2 on it. 2. There we go. 2. Put 2 minutes on the clock. And we're going to have a 2-minute freestyle introduction coming in from number 24 on the ballot, Peter Williams, U.S. Congress District 6. Make your way on up. Peter Williams, 2 minutes. And then from there, we will have a Q&A from a few of the audience members for our panel. Put your hands together and show them some love. 2 minutes on the clock.
Good evening, everyone. I apologize for being late. Just want to thank you all for being here. It's so excited to see everyone. I was coming in from Shreveport and, from Shreveport to here. But anyway, my name is Peter Williams. You might have seen me before. I ran for Congress in 2014 when Edwin Edwards and Gary Graves ran. And I was classified as the irrelevant candidate. And I didn't take it as an embarrassment, but it made me get better. Then I ran for Commissioner of Agriculture, 2019. And you might ask me why I ran for all these races. I ran because I didn't find the candidate in the race that would take care of the interests of the people that are in this building and the people across the state. I'm an agriculturalist. I'm a tree farmer. Been married to the same wife, 43 years. Raised 4 kids in Rural Point, Capete, The Lord bless. All of them finished college. And I'm not saying it to boast. I'm saying it to show you my commitment to family. God first, family second, business third. As an advocate for the last 40 years, I fought the Demodon'ts and the Republicans who try and tell us where to live, what to do, how to be. I got in this race the last day of qualifying, and I've reached out to some of those who are not here now, and Mr. Quinton, they never come. He and I have been holding the fort down since the election, and I commend him. How you gonna get a job if you never go to the interview? How you gonna be able to be a leader of the people who you never face to talk to and let them hear you? I'm an advocate for all of the problems that's up here. You need a congressman to do the delegating of those federal funds, to partner with the state and to partner with the city to get the funds and get the projects. My name is Peter Williams. I know the system, I understand the system, but I'm not part of the system. I'm for the people. Number 24 on your ballot. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. At this time, we have a few of our mic'd participants. Hold on a second. You have a mic. You get a mic. You. There you go. All right. All right. Identify a mic here. Identify a mic here. Identify a mic here. They shall be floating. All right, candidates, take a sip of water. We're going to give you each the same question from someone in the audience by a show of hands. We're going to put, how many you want to do? No. Hey, okay, I see you. Go ahead. Right here. Ma'am, turn around right here. Right here. See? There you go. Right here behind you. Right here. There you go. And then we're going to come right back to him. Yeah. And then we're going to come right back. Just hold tight, sir. I got you. These two. Okay, I got you. These two. Just everybody get a question. These two. He's good too. You good. Your name, where you're from, and your question.
My name is Christopher Toombs. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I have a question. Anybody can take it. So essentially, I want to know, what are we doing to reprioritize our law enforcement efforts where, say, you put the same emphasis on like ICE that you put on drug dealing? Because I think it's unfair, right? Because we have so much emphasis on drug dealing and ridding our streets of drugs, but we have illegal aliens blocking traffic and doing all kinds of things. How can we balance those priorities?
It's an open question.
What do you want to say?
Champagne?
You're first going to have to start with actually having your police department broken up a little bit more. Right now, all of our police handle all the calls. But let's be blunt. Not all of our cops are physically fit and able to handle every single call. So why don't we take the ones who are maybe of a older age, maybe those could work traffic division. They should be able, if you're asking me to come, you come into me and you're saying, hey, I want to make $75,000 a year salary. I expect you to be able to handle the position of the job. So meaning you need to be able to pass a certain physical and stuff like that so that we can actually go after the proper criminals. Because you're right, we do have so many drugs. We put more emphasis on one drug than the other drug, but we let our criminals go over there and we mix them all together in the parish prison, and then they learn, well, hey, you know, you can go to, if you go to academy, I can steal and they'll give me the money back. You learn a lot in that parish prison. I'll even admit, I have actually spent time there at that parish prison. And spending my 64 days that I spent there for traffic tickets that I failed to pay, I can understand why our prison system is the way it is. We don't rehabilitate. You got to teach them what to do in society if you want them to come out here and act correct. They sit in there and they wait for their mom and dad to put money on the books. How'd you rehabilitate? You didn't teach them nothing. But they learn from the other criminals how to be a bigger criminal.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Introduce yourself.
Our next question.
Oh, Adrian Hickman, I live in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Is there going to be any emphasis on helping fixing the fire department? Because I saw the Chase Bank that went in flames on Airline, and the fire departments, their response wasn't very good. So what do we do to help fire department response?
I would like to hear the last half of his question. I didn't hear it. I heard about the Chase Bank and the response, but I didn't hear the entire question, if you don't mind repeating it.
Okay, the fire department response. There's a fire department on Prescott, and when the Chase Bank on Airline went up in flames, the fire department didn't respond very well. How do we help with the fire department's response?
Well, I will tell you that immediately when that incident happened, that the fire chief called me and told me about the incident and that they had responded. I also reached out to the, I guess, manager of that bank and asked if there was anything that I could do personally to assist. I will tell you that our fire department, because of the work that they do, we have a #1 fire rating here in the city and parish, which impacts our insurance. So if there's an isolated incident or a number of incidents, please share that with me because I got a different response about that.
Thank you. Thank you. Next question, your name?
Evangelist Frankie Smith. I lived in 70805 and 70806 all my life, different areas. And I raised 5 children in that area, 4 sons and 1 daughter. Never had to go to parish prison, never had to do any of that. If anything, I went in there to pray for them. But I'm telling you this, my niece has been missing for 14 years, it'll be 15 years. 15 years in February. I went to when she first came in, the mayor, I went to her office. I said, I need some help. I went to Denise Marcel. I need some help. I have not gotten 1 call from no one. And that's my dead sister's child. And I did everything. When she became missing down there in Gonzales, going to buy a car, I have not, the last time I heard from her, it was that Monday. She became missing on that Tuesday. And I did everything, me and my husband and my children, go down there to Gonzales to try to find her because we didn't have no help from the police department, from no one, until to this day. So I want to know, and I need to ask the question, what you all going to do about all these black women and black men that are missing that nobody have never tried to make an address to? So it's a hurting thing to see her 2 sons come up. One was 1 and 1 was 11 years old when she became missing. And now she got grandchildren that look just like her. So I need to know, as a member of 70805 and a resident, because I'm going to help run that thing, because I know there is a change is going to come.
Coach Sid.
Yes, I'd like to address that question and that statement. My boots are on the ground. If I'm elected, there's going to be a mayor's office on Plank Road, okay, a satellite office, and that's just how I roll. And I can't answer that situation for the current administration or anything like that, but and I know I can sympathize with the thousands and thousands of calls they get, but when it's a child missing, I get nervous if I got one of my football players missing for 2 hours, But just know, as a candidate, I will be boots on the ground in your area and all of Baton Rouge. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and thank you. We are sorry for your loss, and we appreciate you sharing tonight. We have another question in the back, sir. Your name and your question.
My name is Aaron Banks. I grew up right here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, North Baton Rouge, all my life. And my question is basically for the mayor's race. We talk about North Baton Rouge, but what I want answers about is going toward the council as well. When I look at North Baton Rouge still looks the same, if not worse, since I was a kid. And I'm 41, about to be 42 years old. What I want to know, what can you do going forward that ensures that our city councilmen, or councilwomen, will do something to help build North Baton Rouge up, because we see it on the south side a lot, but there's no changes as far as like the road conditions, the blight conditions. We talk about it so much. So in 2024, going into 2025, what are your plans to go further forward for the insurance? North Baton Rouge is cleaner, is safer, because these stores, that we have is trash everywhere. And I feel like it's time not just for the mayor to be held accountable, but our city council to be held accountable for who represent us to make sure North Baton Rouge start to look better. Thank you.
I think everyone up here just said, wait a minute, you only get one person, or can I? Yes. 45 seconds up, everyone. Would you start with Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome?
Okay. I understand your concerns, but more importantly, since I've been in office, I heard that hue and cry from the very beginning, and I started to work on that. We have reinvested and invested money in North Baton Rouge. The truth of the matter is, when you have years of disinvestment, it's going to take a minute to get things up. But you might have seen yesterday, we just broke ground on Plank Road. That is going to mean volumes to the North Baton Rouge community. As it relates to your council members, you're right. Each and every one of us who are elected have to be held accountable for our work. There was an empty building, Howe Place. We put that back into commerce. Now we have Oceans Healthcare that. This is in North Baton Rouge, and we also have an Ochsner Clinic. Just the other day,
Sorry, that's time. That's the rules.
Okay.
And we're in the church. I can't cheat. Afterwards, we got time for the meet and greet.
Okay.
Champagne, you had 45 seconds for it. Everyone, 45 seconds.
I can't agree with you more whenever you say the Metro Council people have not been held accountable. I can tell you that I have called the Metro Council person 74 times for my district, Amoroso, who cannot get off of it to come cut the grass on the sidewalks, do anything. But again, that's why you call the mayor's office. There's a plan and a chief of command. If I can't get them to do their job, I call the mayor's office. Of course, I can get the mayor to do hers. I have watched it diligently. Like I said, I will gladly print out my phone bills for anybody who wants to see them. 174 calls to the mayor's office, 96 calls to the chief of police offices, 74 calls to Amoroso's office. All of these are the people who I elected to help me. We got to have more help out here. I love when they say they're doing their job, but
Thank you, Champagne Roundtree. Edward Ted James.
Aaron, your question and statement is the reason why I'm on this stage. And the majority of the people in here clapped because they know that the community looks the same, if not worse, like you said. The first thing that we can do is reprioritize that Move Baton Rouge list. I will invite each and every one of you to go to the website right now. Look at the list of completed projects. Look, right now. Well, not while I'm talking, right? Look at the list of completed projects. They're not in your community. But if you look at the enhancement, go to the website today. The completed projects, they're not in North Baton Rouge. The sidewalks, you got some sidewalks on 72nd, Fuqua, North Baton Rouge, we got the sidewalks. The second thing, reprioritize that list. That's my commitment, to make sure the money goes there. Build Baton Rouge, the redevelopment authority.
Thank you. He brought his own megaphone.
Coach, you have 45 seconds.
45, Coach, 45.
Just the same.
I think I've spoken most of the night on this side of town. I am this side of town. Here's the deal, okay, real quick. How many of you in here gave over $100,000 to anybody on the stage's campaign? That's what I'm getting at. I'm going to start in North Baton Rouge. When I'm elected, this is my first stop. This is where I'm going to be. I'm going to have an office here. If you got a problem, you can come knock on my door. Okay? And that's just the platform I'm running on. This is my side of town. And there's no doubt, there has nothing been done here. Thank goodness Plank Road's being overlaid. But there's been nothing. If that old Ty Graves would have put that Raising Cane's right there on Plank Road, nothing would be happening. So I can't wait to be your mayor president, and with an emphasis on the 70805.
Thank you, Coach. Quentin Anthony Anderson, 45 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I know that the question was for the mayoral candidates, but I want to emphasize something I said in my opening statement. Brother Banks, anti-blackness is not just limited to white folks. It is embedded in our community. And many of our leaders, I talked about this in my opening, have institutionalized understanding that they can go into our community and we expect disappointment, so they deliver disappointment. And over time, what happens is they stop even fighting for us because they know nobody's checking them. So if we want something different, we have to do something different. Meaning, hold on, no, because I don't got a lot of time. Meaning that you can't just vote for the same name that you've always voted for, knowing that they are responsible for the conditions that you're living in and expecting something different. If you want something different, we have to do something different.
That man say, give me my 45. Hold on. Thank you so much to all of our candidates, for everyone that's here with us tonight. Now look, you done got me in trouble already. They told me not another question. You know what that means? Not another. Because if I have another, that means we don't have time for the meet and greet. You say you can ask them at the meet and greet. We'll do that for the meet and greet. Thank you again to all of our sponsors, our community stakeholders, all of our candidates. Today's forum is hosted by the Power Coalition for Equity and Justice, National Panhellenic Council of Greater Baton Rouge, National Panhellenic Council of Louisiana State University, Southern University's Joint Greek Council, and United Excel Social Justice Institute. Hold on a second now before we get up and run up off the stage. Now I gotta call Pastor Ellis. Pastor Ellis? Pastor Ellis, thank you so much for allowing us to be in your house for such a great cause as this. We appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Well, this is a church, so we can't end on a bad note. Not to say that it is a bad note. Not all is bad in our community. You represent what is good about our community and thousands of other people. First, it's concern, it's personal responsibility, and then there's communal responsibility. The Bible says, the Bible that many of us read says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If we can raise our level of thought, we could change the world. One house, one neighborhood, one community at a time. And thought is a byproduct of stimuli. What stimulates us? Too often we leave these meetings dealing with problems, but then we move on to another stimuli. We're addicted to the idols of comfort and convenience. But in order for there to be real change, we got to become inconvenient, uncomfortable. And so I believe that we all understand the challenges we face, but there's a lot of good that's going on. And we must build up on that. And the people of God know that the will of God will be done, and that's what we pray for. In November, the people will cast their vote. I pray that all of these ideas for transformative change in our community will still be on the table, and we'll work together collectively to bring change in our city, change in our region. Behold how good and how pleasant it is when we can dwell together. And we must quit naming the name of God, and we can't work together. Let's stay together. Coming together is the beginning. Working together is progress. Can you say amen? Amen? Let's make progress. If you will bow your head, let's offer this prayer, petition and supplication to God our Father. Father, we thank you for the privilege to call you Father. Thank you for life and animation that you've given to us in this earth that you created. Thank you for the gift of faith, that faith is interwoven in every decision that we make. Many of these who stand on this stage, their faith compels them to the call to serve. Now, God, let your will be done. Let your kingdom come. Bring us together even the more, beyond our petty differences, to forge ahead a better and more perfect union, that we might leave this world better than we found it. The generation coming behind us will have something to stand upon. A platform, a system to work from, beyond the division, beyond the divisiveness. Let love be multiplied into our hearts. Cause us to overcome evil with good in this hour in which we live. And to the unsolved problems, to the pain that's represented in this house tonight, only you can bring about healing. Only you can bring the solutions. We're limited in our human capacity. But for the child that's missing, bring justice. Oh, my Father, where there has been unrighteousness in our community, let righteousness rain down upon us. Surely you can do this, for we know you hear us tonight. The things we ask for, we ask in faith, and we believe it shall be done. Give all traveling grace and mercy as they reach their destinations. And we forever give your name the glory, the honor, and the praise. And the people of faith said, amen. God bless you. Thank you for being here tonight.